can't see. I can't see. What's going on? I can't see. Oh, wait. There we go. What the hell? Now I can see him. Yo, it's Fears. Time for another podcast. Yeah, woo! Yo, guys, Fears. Audience, Fears. Back at it again with another live. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Hope you guys are doing bloody fantastic. Look at that skull. Look at that skull. Should I do the panel? I mean, should I do the live the whole time like this? Oh, yeah. Nice. So what's up, guys? It's Fears. Yo! Wow, it's really cold inside this mask because I haven't had this mask on in quite a long time. So when I put it on, it was like really chilly. Anyway, I'm just joking. It is a nice mask, though. I've got the pumpkin mask from Halloween 3. I've got this. The only one I need is the witch mask from Halloween 3. Anyway, back at it again with another live. There you go. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Wow, what a great lantern show. I didn't get to see all of it. I went out for dinner. I went and got some Chipotle, and then I went and got a nap in, and then I edited for a little while. So I didn't get to see all of it, but I saw some of it. But what I did see, pretty good stream, lantern. Coffee first. Coffee first. Using the Randall mug that Visions was so nice and made me. I think he made one for Randall, too. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call Lantern because Lantern said his Discord was fixed. So, Lantern, I hope you weren't trolling me, Lantern. Lantern said, Fears, give me a call on Discord. And I said, okay, I will. I said, if not, I'll call you on Facebook, buddy. He said it was working. So, let's give it a little go. But, yeah. So, I missed some of the stream, but I saw some of the stream. I just didn't feel like cooking tonight. I wish I would have waited, though, because I had a nap, and then I was woken up by a knock, knock, knock at the door. I went, oh, here we go. I'm like, more pizza shit. And sure enough, Fear's got a free pizza. There was a pizza on the ground. Some guy had just laid it, and the guy was walking away, and so I opened up the door. The guy couldn't speak a lick of English, so I finally downloaded a translation app in case I have to do it. Translate. So I downloaded a translation app, and I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I'm not going to pay for this pizza. I said, this happens all the time. I said, I'm sorry that they wasted your time. And he went, oh, no, senor, it has been paid for. And I went, oh, this has been paid for? And he went, sí, senor. And I went, oh, okay. And then he's like, you want me to take it back? I said, hey, listen, I said, I did not order it. But I said, if it's a free pizza, I will absolutely take it. So I haven't eaten it yet. It's in my fridge because I already had dinner. I went out and got some Chipotle, came back. Like I said, I did some editing. I took a nap. And then I watched some of the Lantern show. Not all of it. Because I was napping. Because I wanted to get a nap in before work. So, yeah. So to whoever it was, I don't know who sent me the pizza or who bought me pizza, but I'm not going to say it was a troll or not. You know, if it was paid for, I would say maybe that's from a loving and loyal fan. But I think that's the first time in all the pizza sending pizzas to my house bullshit. I think that's the only free one I've ever gotten. So to whoever it was, thank you very much. I'm not gonna eat it tonight because I already had Chipotle for dinner, but I know what I'm eating for dinner tomorrow. It's in the fridge, so I'll just heat up the pizza tomorrow, and I'll have a couple of slices tomorrow. So thank you, whoever it was. I don't know who it was because I made sure because I looked at the guy and I did the translation. I said, "Is this paid for or not?" Because Dave said, "Fears, you might as well find out if it's paid for or not." Dave didn't tell me that tonight. He's told me that before. Like, Fears, what if it's paid for? Then you get yourself a free pizza. And I was like, they would never pay for it, but I stand corrected. So it may not have been a troll. It may have been a loving and loyal fan that said, you know what, I'll do something nice for Fears. He's had a hell of a week, because I have had a hell of a week. All these bullshit lies and rumors and, oh, you did it, Fears, even though I did absolutely nothing wrong and I told the truth for once, but of course nobody believed me. And even after I proved myself right, I've only sent one message to Zach. I showed the message. So whoever it was that sent the message to Zach must have been a troll, set me up. He set it in motion, and then because Lantern was doing a dual stream, it got taken off of Zach's, got taken off of Lantern's. I didn't show the nude, so I don't understand why people are thinking it's me. It's just very fishy that Adam Bachidi showed it, and then literally a couple minutes later, it's taken off of Zach's show. It's taken off of Lantern's. Thank God Lantern got his channel back, because me and Lantern are good friends. I'm going to call him in a minute. Lantern, hang in there. The thing is what I don't get what people are saying, and this is my final word on it. I covered it last night, but I wanted to cover it tonight too before we got going. Why would I attack someone's channel that's a friend? The only videos that I've ever took down or channels is troll stuff. I've never taken down a friend's channel. Why? Because they're my friend. I would never take down Zach's videos or his channel, because me and Zach are friends. I haven't talked to Zach. Like he said, he doesn't want to talk to me until Saturday, and I'm obeying his wishes. I sure as hell wouldn't attack Lantern's channel, because everybody likes Lantern, including me, and me and Lantern have been friends for so long. And I don't mess with Lantern's channel anymore, because I got in real big trouble when I asked him, hey, Lantern, can you take down those 2 streams? And I told Lantern that I would never ask him to take down a video again. I would never take down a video again. So I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to keep trying to defend myself, because then it looks like it is my fault when it's not. So this is the second time and the last time I'm going to say it. I had nothing to do with the whole Lantern and Zach situation. You guys can believe me. You cannot believe me. I'm telling the truth, though, but it's up to you guys. So anyway, let's see if Chad's right. Chad said his Discord was working, so I'm going to call him. Anyway, so that's my piece on it. So Lantern, great stream from what I saw today. I didn't watch the whole, 6 hours, 7 hours. I watched a couple hours, and then I fell asleep. And I finished watching this really cool movie with Walter Matthau in it. Really good. I didn't know Walter Matthau did action movies. I thought he did nothing but, he did a lot of dramas growing up, in his younger youth. And I like Walter Matthau. I thought he did a bunch of dramas and a bunch of comedy. I never knew he did action, and this is kind of an action movie. So I was like, that's cool. All right, let's call Lantern. Let's see if it actually works. Yo, Lantern. Hey, welcome back, buddy. See, it's so much easier to call you on this, man. Yeah. So, Lantern, how did you get it back working?
What, the Discord or my channel?
No, the Discord. Oh,
I don't know.
Did it just fix itself?
I guess so.
Nice. Because I didn't mind calling you on Facebook, and now, and I'm gonna keep you on Facebook. All right, Chad?
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
So now, if this ever happens again, Like if your Discord ever like fucks up again, I'll just call you. I'll just call you on Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good show. Good show, Chad. I didn't get to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch all of it. I fell asleep. So I watched.
I sent you the link earlier. Did you want to come in?
Well, and also I didn't want to come in. I wasn't feeling it. You know.
Why not?
I just, you know, with all the drama and all that stuff, I didn't want to talk about the drama, so I watched some of it, though.
Yeah.
So basically, I went out and got some dinner, and then I came back, ate it, and then I talked to my mom for about an hour, because, you know I'm going to go visit my family soon.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom was asking me a whole bunch of questions and stuff and all that. And then I said, all right, Mom, I said, I'm going to get back to eating dinner. And so I had to reheat my Chipotle up. So I reheated it, ate it. I did some editing while I was listening to the show. And then I was tired, Landon. I had to get a nap in before I go to work because I'm going to work at 4:30. And so then I wrote and said, hey, Chad, I said, if it isn't too late, you know, I'm going to try and do a live after yours, you know. So I waited very patiently. So you went. What time did you start your live?
I don't know.
Was it like 5 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I started watching. I don't know, around 6 or 7.
Okay. I thought then Richie went live.
Oh, Richie went live. Oh.
Yeah.
No respect for Chadwick. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, and Richie knows. Chadwick's days are Thursday and Friday. So if the Fierce Man has to go live super late, it's worth it because we get an awesome Chadwick live.
Yeah.
And the fans don't mind waiting until I go live, until Chadwick's done, and then I can do a late stream. You know. So, shame on you, Richie. He was probably eating that bean shit again, Leonard. You know, he's eating all these beans and shit in the shower, you know, and he's like, hey, let me do a shower challenge. I'm eating beans. You know. Leonard, what'd you have for dinner?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, did you forget? No worries. Yeah. No worries. Did you have a good day?
Yeah, did you?
I had a better day. I had a better day. And you know what? Me and Zach are going to talk on Saturday. You know, we're gonna squash the beef because I absolutely hate arguing with I hate arguing with like friends and stuff. You know, that's the worst, Lantern.
Yeah. The
two worst types of fights is when you argue with family and when you argue with your friends. So like whenever me and my mom get into a disagreement, I hate arguing with my mom. Yeah. It hasn't happened in a long time, but I'm just using that as an example. So whenever you get into an argument with a friend or get into an argument with your family, it's the worst. So he didn't want to talk until Saturday, and I talked to Dave, and I said, hey, Dave, have you heard from Zach today? And he goes, no. He goes, I doubt I'll hear from him, Fears. He's still probably pretty sick. I said, yeah. I said, the other day he was pretty sick, and I said, well, you know what, Dave? I said, I'm not gonna text him. I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna message him on Facebook. I said I'm gonna obey by his wishes. So I haven't. I haven't yet. And on Saturday we're gonna get. I don't remember where we're going to eat on Saturday. I think Dave said Jack in the Box. I can't remember. I think it's that though. You ever had that, Lantern? Jack in the Box is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Zach is not kidding. Their tacos are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
You ever had their tacos?
Yeah.
Oh man, their tacos are good. Well, I like their hamburgers are good. I'll give them that. But
what about their fries?
The what's up?
The fries.
I've had their fries, and they're good. Have you had their fries, Chad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their fries are good. I like their tacos more though. But I have had their burgers and fries. Absolutely. It's been a while though, because they don't have many Jack in the Boxes down here in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't have Chipotle until I moved down here. They don't have Chipotles in Missouri, or at least where my mom lives, Chad. They don't have Chipotle. Yeah. They don't. At least where my mom lives, they don't have Chipotles. Maybe somewhere else in Missouri they have them, but not around where my mom lives. So yeah. You going to church this Sunday, buddy?
Yeah. Are you?
Yep. Yep, I've been trying to go back to church. Now Saturday's my dad's birthday, so you won't hear from me on Saturday. Saturday I'm gonna have lunch with the guys, and then after lunch, since my dad passed away, Landon, the best way I think to honor my dad loved movies, not as much as me, but he liked movies. So I've selected did your dad have his favorite movies, Chad?
Yeah.
My dad had a bunch of favorite movies. So my dad liked all the RoboCops and the Rambos and the Terminators and the Predator movies and all the action movies. He liked Keanu Reeves' Speed, and he loved...
Yeah.
I don't think my dad ever saw the third Matrix and the fourth Matrix. My dad liked the first and second Matrix, so I may pop those in.
Yeah.
So to honor my dad, I'm going to watch as many of my dad's favorite movies as possible. My dad liked all the James Bond series, so I may pop in a few James Bond on Saturday. And then today is Friday the 13th, Chad.
Yeah, again.
I know. So
What did that last month?
I know. 2 in 1 month. That's great, buddy.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So after your live tomorrow, I'm gonna maybe tonight I'll watch either before work or after work. I'm gonna watch some type of Jason Voorhees movie. Probably after work because it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
And I only have until 4:00 because it takes about 15 minutes to get to my work, so I'm probably going to end at like 3:50ish, so I can have enough time to go to work. But after work, I'm probably going to watch a Friday the 13th movie, maybe part 3, part 4, and then after your live, Chad, as soon as you end it, I'm going to do some Friday the 13th topics. So yeah. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, Chad, because everyone's here. So now you can spread the link again. Ha ha! Hey, Lantern. Oh, damn! Man, my shorts are wet, Lantern. They're stinky. Oh, man. You sure that wasn't you, Lantern? No. Lantern, and you got to believe me. You got to believe me, Lantern. You know, Twin?
Yeah.
I did not say the N-word. You know what he did?
What?
He's a crafty little bastard. You know what he did?
Yeah.
So in one of my lives, I was looking at the Easter candy, and I love Snickers bars.
Yeah.
Snickers bars. So yeah. So he took the word Snickers, the chocolate bar, and he turned it into the N-word. So like I have never said the N-word because I have a lot of black friends.
Yeah. And
I would never say that. But now we have to put up with him, because, everyone knows, Chad, you going, Negro, Negro, Negro. So now you're going to have fear saying it, even though I never said it.
Yep.
So when I tuned in, because I did not watch, you went for what, 7.5 hours? 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah. I tuned in for a little bit. I heard a little bit of Twin doing that. I was like, oh, God, this is fucking retarded. I was like, this is so stupid. I'm like, I didn't say that shit, but I'm like, whatever. Yeah. I bet you were laughing, though, Chad. I heard you giggling.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Well, I'll see you later. I'm glad you had a good day. I had a better day. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Ho, Merry Christmas. So, yeah, are you guys going to go eat something after church on Sunday? You going to Cracker Barrel again?
Yeah.
Nice. When my brother came to visit me, we went to Cracker Barrel. They got some good eats there, buddy. They got some good eats. All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to get back to the chat and say hello to everybody and catch up on the chat, and then I'm going to get into my topic. So, all right, Chad. Shunk! Oh, Chadwick. Anyway, guys, well, I'm glad. I'm glad Chadwick had a good stream for what I saw, and I'm glad Chadwick is in good spirits. So yeah. As far as the whole drama stuff, you guys know my position on it. That's the last time I'm going to say anything about it. I really didn't want to say it a second time. I pretty much filled everybody in on what happened yesterday. But my friend suggested it. I say it one more time, and I was like, I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference, but I said I'll try. But yeah. So the big surprise tonight, though, I'm racking my brain. I don't know who sent me the pizza, but they did pay for it. Because when I did the translation app, I said, excuse me, sir, do I have to pay for this? I said, or is it already paid for? And I showed it to him like that, and then he went, oh, yeah, CC, and he gave me a thumbs up. I went, oh, it's paid for, thumbs up? And he's like, C, because the guy did not know how to speak a lick of English. Like, sometimes it is an American, like, pizza delivery guy. Or sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman. But about 11 times out of 12, it's usually someone from a different country that knows either a little bit of English or no English at all. And I could tell, I'm like, this guy does not know how to speak any English. Thank God I downloaded that app. And I was just like, I'm sorry to waste your time. I'm like, people think it's funny to waste people's time at work. And then I said, I'm a YouTuber. I said, I hope you know what that means. And I said, I don't know how they found out my address, but here we are. And I said, it happens at least once or twice a month. I said, it's a pain in the ass, but hopefully one day it'll stop. And then I was like, I just need to ask you one question. Is this paid for or not? And he gave me the thumbs up that it was paid for. And then I went, well, I didn't order it, but yeah, sure, I'll take it. And I went like that. And he was like, see. And because he doesn't care, you know, once he makes the delivery, you know, he's done. So I was like, all right, well, you know, hasta luego, you know, have a nice night. And that was that. So I think that's the first time ever. Because normally when I have to go to the door, but before I open up the chat, normally, you know, my spiel is, I'm sorry they wasted your time. I'm sorry that they that you did this whole drive out for nothing. And no, I didn't order that. No, I'm not going to pay for that. You know, I'm sorry, you know, yada, yada, yada. And okay, you know, have a nice night and stuff like that. And then usually I go back inside. But I think this is the first time ever that they said, oh no, it's paid for. And if they have paid for it before, I forgot to ask them and just gave them the food back and said, I'm not ordering that, or I didn't order this, I'm not taking this. Because the first few times this happened, I did pay. Like the first 3 times I felt horrible. And so I grabbed my wallet and I just paid with my debit card. But after like the 12th time, I was like, I can't keep paying for these. I said, or I'll be out of money, you know. So I just kept saying. Then I created the whole spiel. I'm sorry they wasted your time. They wasted your time. They wasted my time. Yada, yada, yada. So, but to whoever it was, I got a free pizza. Thank you. I'm going to eat it tomorrow. Because, like I said, I already had Chipotle for dinner, and I was already full. And if you haven't tried their tacos, Chipotle tacos are pretty good. All right. Let's open up the chat, and I'll say hello to everybody. Today's thumbnail is finally a Leprechaun's Pot of Gold. I was doing all stuff St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done a Pot of Gold. Tonight's topics, I'm going to be reviewing. Tonight I watched The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Last night I watched Predator again. I haven't watched Predator in quite a while, so we're going to review these 2 movies. And then my friend Sean said, Fears, have you ever done like the top 10 of your own movies? And I said once. I said I think I did like the top 10 on Fears vlogs. And he's like, why don't you do the top 10 videos of Fears Man 26? And my friend Sean is from my work, and I said, I can do that. And then he also said, hey, Fears, why don't you do some movie quotes? And I said, I can do that, because we haven't done movie quotes in quite a while. And then I couldn't think of anything else, because it was kind of a spare of the moment. I was like, well, I got to come up with something. I said, because Chad just finished. And I said, I have to go to work at 4:30. And like I said, I'm going to end this around 3:50, 4 o'clock-ish, so I can get to work on time. And so I just said, all right, I said, if there's time, I'll tell some more celebrity stories of the celebrities that I've met. So yeah. All right, let's open up the chat. All right. I have to go to work at 4:30. Nice. I've got 15 people watching. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Cool. Nice. All right, well, let me get situated here. Visions, what's up? He says, oh, hi, looking good. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I got my, I don't know why, but at Walmart, they had a leprechaun holding a machine gun. I thought it was a funny shirt. So I just said, all right, I'm going to get that. I got this a year ago or 2 years ago. I can't remember. It's one of those. So, yeah. Yo, Mama Bear. She says, hi, John. I won't be able to go on Saturday. I'll be busy. That's all right. That's all right, Tina. You're always welcome to come. So, but I understand. If you're busy, you're busy. So I get it, Tina. Hey, Fears, where you been? Oh, it was free? That's epic. I've been around. I just took a nap before work, and then, like I said, I watched some of the Lantern show. I couldn't catch all of it. And I just didn't feel like cooking anything tonight. So I was like, fuck it. And so I went out and got some Chipotle, brought it back. And then my mom ended up calling me, and we talked for an hour, so I had to reheat my Chipotle. She's very excited about me coming to visit. I'm very excited. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be gone. I haven't decided. At least a week. I thought about maybe taking 2 weeks off, but I was like, I'll let you know, Mom. And then I'm going to try to buy my ticket either this Sunday or Monday. I'm going to surf the internet and try to find a cheap ticket. So, yeah. So, I've been around. What were the toppings? Sausage and cheese. 2 of my favorites. So, if they ever want to buy me a free pizza again, pepperoni and sausage is my ultimate fave. So, yeah. What's up, Cave? Cave Squeaker says, hell yeah. Vision says, score! It was a good score. So, I always try to think on the positive side. I was like, maybe it wasn't a troll. Maybe it was a fan that wanted to be anonymous and send me something, because hardly ever do the trolls pay, you know? So, yeah. And if people want me to show it on camera, I will. I promise you I'm not, you know what? I'll just show you guys on camera so you guys know I'm not lying. So, let me go grab it. It's in the fridge. Let me go grab it. Look at that. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go put it back in the fridge. And I took Dave's advice. Dave is the one that said, hey, Fears, if that pizza stuff ever happens again, he goes, you should probably download a translation app. And I was like, that's a good idea, Dave. So I did. So anyway, maybe the troll slipped up and accidentally paid for it when they didn't mean to. I mean, you're right. I don't know for sure. And then Cave says, or it could have been a real gift. It could have been. Whoever sent it, I appreciate it. Because they have to learn that I will never pay for it. Because then I would be out of money. Because, you know, it happens at least once or twice a month, at least. So, yeah. Anyway. But, Lantern, from what I saw, because I did not catch the whole stream, because it was, 7.5 hours? So, yeah. What's up, Bukaki? But what I did see, Lantern, good show. Good show. What's up, Bukaki? He says, Zach is obsessed with Jack and the Crack tacos. That's okay, though. I mean, their tacos are good. So more power to Zach, because I've had their tacos before, and they're pretty good. So, oh yeah. Let's see here. Yo, howdy, Fears. Howdy, Tina. Howdy, N4. Howdy, Visions. All right, now, Visions. What's up, Lantern? Vision says, well, howdy. Howdy. Did you find it in front of someone else's? No, I didn't, Visions. No, I didn't. It was on my doorstep. The guy knocked. He put it down. And as I opened the door, he started to walk away. And I was like, oh, excuse me, sir. And then he was like, hola, right off the bat. So he didn't even say hi. I went, this guy does not know how to speak a lick of English. And I said, uno momento. And then, you know, I used my app and I was like, hey, I have a question. And I already told you guys all what I said. So the minute he said, no, CC, it's all paid for. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, and then I wrote, I was like, in the app, I was like, well, I didn't order this, but since it's already paid for, I won't let it go to waste. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. So yeah. Yep. Too much to read. Yeah, exactly, Visions. Yo, what's up, Zach? He says, quiet, Bukkake. Hey, Zach, I was defending you. I like Jack in the Box tacos, too. I haven't had them in quite a while, because there's not many Jack in the Boxes out here. Dave said there's one. I guess that's the one we're going to in Orlando, so yeah. And Zach, you know I'm telling the truth. I told the fans, I said, we will not talk until Saturday. I saw your Sunday, like, reviewing Fears' negotiations. I don't know what all that is about. I mean, we don't really have to discuss that, Zach. Hopefully by Sunday you'll change the title to that, because usually when people squash the beef, once we squash the beef on Saturday, there's no need to review the negotiations. We're not negotiating at all. We're just going to talk man to man. Just be like, look, man, I'm sorry for this. You're sorry for that. Let's squash the beef. Let's not bring it up. And let's just move forward. That's how I feel, you know? So if you are going to do another stream on me on Sunday, I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and I won't be there, you know? So, and I have not called you. I've not texted you. I don't think this counts because you came into the chat yourself. So, yeah. So, hopefully by Sunday you'll change that. Because I don't want another stream to be about me. People are way too obsessed with me already. Why? I have no idea. So hopefully that title changes. I would just do a normal hangout stream with Zach and shoot the shit with everybody like you usually do. There's no need to do a third stream about me, or a second stream, or whatever the hell it is. That's just my opinion. So yeah. Yo, what's up, N4? Oh, that's right, N4. Yeah, hang on. I need to, hang on. Hang on, N4. I've been so busy, I haven't had time. I thought I unblocked your first channel, N4. Hang on. I'll do it right now. Hang on, because you sent me the link. I don't know what I fucked up on, N4. I thought it was unblocked. I unblocked your other account. But I guess I forgot your main one. Or something happened, because I thought I did both, but I'll do it right now. Give me 1 second. It'll take me 2 seconds. Hang on. I'm doing it right now. Okay, so you're unblocked there. And then let me just switch over to Fearsman. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And then, okay. Give me 2 seconds here. Hang on. And then I got to get you off my Google accounts. 2 seconds. Okay. Let me just go back to the Discord and then click on your other account. And it's such a pain in the ass because you got to. I hate YouTube's unblocking shit. It's such a pain in the ass. You have to. Especially if you have two channels like mine, you got to go on your Fears vlogs, unblock them. Then you got to switch over to your Fearsman26, unblock them on that. Then you got to go on your Google account. It's such a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, hang on. I'm almost done. It should be like, if you block them, it would be so much easier if you didn't have to go to your like Google account and all that bullshit. I wish you could just go to their channel, like, hey, give me your link, bada bing, bada boom, go to the link, unblock, and then you're done. But it's such a pain. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so you're unblocked on that, and then on Fears, man. Okay, so let me switch back to Fears vlogs then. All right, and now let me go to my my Google accounts. All right, give me Give me 2 more seconds, N4, and you should be good. Because I gotta take you off my Google. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Where are you on my blocked account? Give me 1 second. Let me go down the list. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so you're off that list. And let me just scroll down. Did I get the... Yep, I got all the others. Okay. Alright, so let me switch over. So that was on Fearsman, and then let me switch over to Fears Vlogs Google accounts. Give me 1 more second, and then let me find you on this block list. And then N4, you should be able to try it in a minute. Just give me a second to find your other name. Hang on. I'm going down the list here. Where are you? Let's see. There you are. Okay. All right, you're good. You're good, N4. So, sign into your other account, and I'm pretty sure I did it right. I'm pretty damn sure, because I went to both of your accounts, and I unblocked you on there, and then I went to both of my Google accounts, and you should be good. You should be good. And then let me... I have the chat down, so let me reopen up the chat, and let me switch back over to Fears Vlogs, and then get back into the chat. And then let me just check. Sure, because I think everything's good. Oh, thank you for the 4 likes. I appreciate that. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Chat. And then let me just check. Okay. All right, so let me get back into the chat here. Let's see, where did I leave off? And I will... it should be... It should be back to normal here in a couple of seconds or minutes or whenever he goes to check it. Let's see. N4 says, howdy, Mr. Lantern. It's N4 number 2. Well, he should be back to N4 number 1. Let's see. I'd love to see the pizza. Well, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not justifying anything, Zach. I'm telling the honest to God truth. That's what happened. So, yeah. Let's see. Wow, Carrie, having flashbacks of falling in Papa... yeah. Carrie ate a lot of Papa John's back then. LOL, Cave. Well, the box looks cool at least. Well, there's food in the box. You know, I'm going to eat it tomorrow. Yeah. Mr. Lantern says, that's my pizza, Fears. No, Lantern. Whoever sent it to me, like, Cave, like you said, I don't want to speculate. It can only be one of these two things. Either someone did it as a prank and they accidentally paid for it, because usually the trolls will just be like, oh, hey, can you send Fears this, and this address, and then they expect me to pay for it, and then I have to go and say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay for that, I didn't order it. Or, like you said, Cave, someone said, yeah, Fears has had a crazy week. You know what? I'll buy him some pizza. And then Dave said a few days ago, Fears, get that translation app. I don't remember what day he said, but he said a few days ago, Fears, if it he goes, whenever it happens again, he goes, start asking them, hey, is it paid for? He goes, because if it's already paid for, Fears, that's a free pizza for you. And he goes, those stupid trolls just wasted their own money. And I was like, yeah, true. I'm like, I don't want to waste a pie. So that was the first time I asked. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, sí, senor. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't order it, but yeah, sure, I'll take it. So, yeah. But yeah, I remember that, Visions. The flashbacks, Carrie ate a lot of Papa John's back in the day. She ate other stuff, but 10 times out of 12, it was usually either Domino's or a Papa John's. And usually it was a Papa John's. So, yeah. Let's see. Lantern says, we're going to eat that pizza up. Tomorrow we are, Lantern, because tonight I had Chipotle, and it was good. So, yeah. Fine, I'll change it to Fears Roast, double down. Well, I don't want that either, Zach. Just do a normal stream. Just do a normal stream, because we're going to squash the beef on Saturday. I promise you, I'm not going to call you at all. I didn't call you today. I didn't call you yesterday. I'm not going to call you on Friday. When Dave picks me up, Dave even asked me, he said, hey, Fears, do you want to call him on Saturday? I said, no. No, I said, I promised him. I said, when I show up and he sits down and orders and I sit down and order, we'll eat. And then before we leave the restaurant, we'll hash it out. So I would just do a normal stream, Zach. You know, there's no need to review. We're not even negotiating. That's what I'm trying to say. We're just talking like men. Because once you squash the beef, there should be no need to review it. That's me. That's what I would do. All right. Let me make sure N4. All right, here we go. N4's back. All right, good. I'm glad it worked, N4. I'm glad it worked. And N4, I don't know what happened. I'm being honest. I think what happened is I unblocked your second one, and I forgot to unblock your first one. That's probably what happened. Because I could have sworn, and I'm not making any excuses up. I'm just saying I could have sworn I did both. Evidently, I did not. So anyway, let me catch up with the chat here before I get into my topics. At least they're not like the cruel. It should have never happened to begin with, Zach. Like Dave even said it. If I'm being honest, Dave on the phone said, if John wanted to be part of a roast, he goes, you should have called John and said, hey, Fears, we're doing a roast. And I've never done roast streams. I think they're immature. That just added more fuel to the fire. But I don't want to talk about it, Zach, until Saturday. It should have never happened. I didn't deserve a roast stream. I'm just saying. All right. Let's see. Thanks. Sorry, everyone, for interrupting. No, it's fine, N4. I wanted to make sure because you've been a loving and loyal fan. And N4, I swear, hands to God, I thought I unblocked both of yours. Evidently, I didn't. You know, I could have swore I did, but I was like, it'll take me less than 5 minutes. I'll fix it real quick. So, yeah. I didn't think so, Visions. I didn't think they were funny. Zach literally called me fat. You did, Zach. I went back and watched some of it. You did. You called me fat. I didn't appreciate that. You know I'm trying to lose weight. That hurt. If I'm being honest, it did. And I really don't want to talk about this until Saturday. I want to get on with my topics. So, I thought it was way over the line, Zach. Way over the line. You literally, and if you say you didn't, I can show you. I can show you in the stream when you called me like straight up fat, and that hurt a lot. You said that I would never get a girlfriend. That hurt too. I mean, there was other stuff that you said that was over the line. So, yeah, it was fun for you guys. Again, at my fucking expense. So, we'll talk about it on Saturday. And I'll be honest, Zach, you've done a lot more stuff to me than I've done to you. I never would have recorded someone's phone call because now you put it in the Discord and some idiot troll uploaded that. So, I'm going to have to get that video taken down because I don't want our conversation up online. I never would have attacked your channel, and I never would attack Lantern's channel. Somebody set me up. Zach, I'm telling you, and I don't mind showing this again, and this is the last time I'm going to bring it up because I really don't want to talk about it anymore. I've only sent Zach one message on Discord. One. And apparently some guy wrote him a lot saying, oh, like threatening him, and oh, I'm going to take his channel down, and I'm going to take his stream and all that. No. So it must have been a fake Fears. Zach, I've had to deal with fake Fearses. Every once in a blue moon, they show up in this chat. Every once in a blue moon, they show up. When I was in LC's Discord, I'd always see a fake Fearsman26 because my profile is Fearsman26. This is, so February 21st, right here. Hang on. Right there. Look at the date. That's the only message. And there's Zach's. That's the only message I've ever sent Zach. So whoever sent you all that bullshit, clearly it was somebody else. Somebody definitely set me up. And they wanted to start some drama. So I hope everybody, believes me because I am telling the honest to God truth. And why would I attack my friend Lantern's channel and why would I attack my friend Zach's channel? I wouldn't. So it is what it is. Anyway, that's my last time I'm going to bring it up. So, yeah. So, Yeah. I hope there's food in the box. No, it doesn't look like there's food in it. I promise you. I promise you. I just grabbed it real quick because I'm not going to eat it tonight. So, yeah. Let's see. Zach, you got to boost your immune system, N4 says. I never got his name, Zach. But, yeah. So, either, I'm telling you, Cave is probably right. Either someone made a mistake, so either a troll was like, oh, yeah, I'll get Fierce tonight off camera, and he accidentally paid for it. Or, I'm being honest, Cave, I'm not excluding the, someone could have been like, Fierce has had a bad week. I'll just buy it for him anonymously, and he won't have to find out who it is. So, I try to think on the positive side, it definitely could have been someone. I was like, yeah, I'll give Fierce a treat. I'll buy him dinner tonight. So, whoever it was, I appreciate it. So, yeah. Let's see. Carrie sued Papa John's a couple years back because she tripped over some sodas. I'm telling you, Visions. Zach, Visions is not lying. Not every single time did Carrie have pizza on stream. When she first started streaming way back when. She ate pizza a lot back then. She drank soda a lot. She would even put salt on grapes, which I was like, Carrie, grapes and blueberries and strawberries are good on their own. And I'm not trolling Carrie, but it would just taste so disgusting to me. Like, oh, here's a strawberry and dump all the salt on it. That's just not me. So, yeah. Yeah. But Carrie does have actually, no, she's got 2 degrees. Because whenever me and Carrie hung out in real life, I said, Carrie, I remember you saying on stream that you got a degree. She's like, oh, well, I actually have 2. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I have a bachelor's. So I was like, I don't know what she went for, Visions. I don't know what her degree was in, but yeah. Anyway. Thanks, Fears. It's all good. Oh, no worries. I just wanted to make sure because I'm telling you, I could have sworn that I unblocked you, and I think what happened is I must have unblocked the second one because you have a backup one. But yeah, I appreciate it. She's definitely good at rules and arguing. What, Carrie? Oh yeah, I remember. Let's see that Lifetime Papa John's they gave her to yeah. You know what? And I forgot that she tried to sue them or whatever the hell it was and all that. Anyway, all right, I'm all caught up. Anyway, Zach, we will talk on Saturday, my friend, and I just want to squash this beef and I want to get back to us being friends. I mean, we're always going to be friends, but I'm so sick of this 5th grader bullshit and all this squabbling and us butting heads. So, literally, Dave said that he would be the mediator. I'll let you talk. I won't interrupt you. Or I can go first, and you won't interrupt me. I'll say what I need to say, and I'll apologize. And you can apologize if you want to. I think I deserve an apology, if I'm being honest. If I'm going to give you one, I think I deserve one back. Because it wasn't all me. Some of this was you, too. And I will not say that all of it was me, because it wasn't. Some of it was me, but some of it was you too. So, and I think that's totally fair. And I think I've been pretty fair. So we'll talk on Saturday. We'll squash all this, and then let's just put it behind us, and let's just move forward. And if you could change the name to that stream for Sunday, I would just do a normal Sunday stream like you always do. And then let's just forget about the past and let's just move forward. All right. I've said my piece. Let's move on. Alrighty. Shit, now I gotta take a piss. Alright, I'll be back. I'm gonna take a piss, and then we'll be able to rock and roll. I should have went to the bathroom before, but 2 minutes, I'm gonna take a piss, and then we'll get back. 2 seconds. Now we're ready to rock and roll. All right. Sorry about that. Hopefully there's no more there's no more interruptions. All right. Let's see here. Mr. Lantern with those tomatoes. Ha ha! I knew it, Lantern. I knew it. Lantern loves those tomatoes. So do I. I think it's funny. Every time I leave, Triple and Lantern do that. We don't need a mediator, John. It has nothing to do with John. Well, I'm just saying. You know, I didn't want to get loud, Zach. I didn't want you to get loud. Dave offered to be the mediator. The mediator. You know, so again, I don't want to talk about it. I want to do my topics and then go to work and stuff because I'm not going to get mad about this shit. Because I could have said a lot of bad stuff about everything, and I didn't because that's immature. So Dave offered, and I said, if you want to, Dave, I said, I don't think we need one. I told that to Dave, Zach. I said, Zach's going to say what he needs to say, and hopefully you'll apologize. And I said, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to apologize. And then we're just going to squash it like men, and we're just going to move forward. And I said, Dave, I've already told Zach. I said, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to scream and yell. I said, I'm just going to be like, look, this crossed the line, and I'm going to say this and that and say what I need to say, and then just move on. That's what I'm going to do. But you definitely don't have to do another stream about me, and we don't have to review because we're not negotiating. We're talking like men. So if you could change that, I would appreciate it. Anyway. All right. Exactly, Cave. Seems like a man-to-man type. Yeah, I just want to be man-to-man, talk it out, squash it, and then move on. Notice I haven't said anything bad about you, Zach. I've just told the truth. I'm just like, look, here it is. Everyone's sick of the drama. I'm sick of the drama. You are. Let's just talk it out and just move forward. And that's the best bet. All right. Let's see. Bukaki says, Zach, why did you tell me to be quiet when I said you were obsessed with tacos? Do tacos make you feel insecure? I mean, I love tacos. So do I. I love tacos. I love them. You might even say I'm obsessed. I love tacos. And you know what, Bukaki? But before I get to my first movie review, I will say this. I used to go insane on Taco Bell. And then me and Lana were hanging out. And this was way before me and Zach were friends and way before me and Dave became friends. And literally Randall was like, Fears, fuck Taco Bell. I was like, what? I'm like, I love Taco Bell. It's good, man. He's like, I got something better, Fears. And you know what? Randall was right. I would choose Chipotle way over Taco Bell. Way over. So he took me there, and he goes, you've never had this, Fears? I said, nope. I said, Randall, I said, where my mom lives, I said, I've never heard of Chipotle. I said, they don't have it in Missouri where my mom lives. And he goes, surely they must have it somewhere. I said, maybe, Randall. I said, they don't have it in the area that my mom lives, but I said, maybe somewhere in Missouri they have it. But I said, I've lived there almost all my life besides living here and then living for 4 years in Arizona when I went off to film school and went off to college. And I said, I didn't see a Chipotle in Arizona. So I said, maybe they don't have it out there either. But I said, this is the first time I'm eating it, Randall. I'm telling you, Bukaki, I've been into that taco at Chipotle, and I was like, oh, man, this is some good shit. And then Randall's like, I told you, Fears. I was like, that you did, Randall. And he goes, isn't it better than Taco Bell? I went, oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. So, yeah. So, I love Chipotle taco. I still like Taco Bell, but if I have to pick, it's definitely Chipotle over Taco Bell. I still like Taco Bell. Like the last time I had Taco Bell, it's been a while. It's been 5 or 6 months. But I still like it every once in a while. All right. Yeah. All right. Man, Lantern's going nuts with those tomatoes. But for the record, also, let's say, Tina will mediate. She'll keep you guys in line. Well, the only reason why I brought that up is, Dave volunteered. But I don't think me and Zach need one. We'll just talk it out, And you know what? It probably won't take that long because Zach's very forgiving. And I've gotten better at forgiving. But Zach is totally forgiving. I'm better at forgiving. When I was younger, I did not forgive anyone. But I've gotten better at forgiving. There's some people that I can't forgive, and you guys know. I'm not going to bring up their names, but because that'll just cause more drama. There's some people that I will never forgive. Anyway. All right, James's book is almost done. I can't wait to give it to him. We've got that much left. That much left. All right. And then I was going to use this one for Pixels, but I'm going to save this one. Don't tell anybody. Or don't tell Pixel. I found a Friday the 13th notebook, and Pixel likes Friday the 13th more than the color blue. So I'm going to go to that mall, to that store, buy that journal of Friday the 13th, and I'm going to start that one very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. And that'll be Pixels. All right. Too bad you don't have taco time in Florida. I've never heard of that either. That's a new one, Bukagi. So I guess they have that in Washington and Portland. Visions, back up your brother. Do they have taco time in that area? I've never heard of that. Ever. Never. Not once. So, Bukagi, how are the tacos at taco time? So whenever I come to visit you guys at some point, I guess Visions is coming to visit me first because he told me him and his lady are coming very soon. And he said he would let me know. And I said, that'll work. But at some point, I'm coming out there to hang out with Bukaki and Lord Visions. I'm going to bring my my Indiana Jones hat, at the beginning of the Goonies, and we're going to recreate that like, open the lock, you son of a bitch! And then Visions is going to be in my rental car. Fierce, let go of the handle. I don't have the handle. Open the lock. We're going to go nuts. It's going to be great. Bukaki can be behind the camera filming. And then we're going to screech out of there, and go down that little access road like in Goonies. Oh, yeah. And then at the end, I'm going to find that rock, sit on that rock, and as, One-Eyed Willie's ship is, going off into the distance, I'm going to be like Sloth and start screaming my head off on the rock. Oh! They do at the end of the movie. And then to end that vlog, Bukaki, I'm just going to download the ending of Goonies and cut it at the very end and put in One-Eyed Willie's ship just floating off into the distance. And then that 180 singer, It's Good Enough, that little song, I'm going to play that in the credits, and then bada bing, bada boom, end the vlog. So there it is. It's going to be good times. It's going to be good times. All right, let me catch up with the chat here. Like upgrading from Olive Garden to Fazoli's. I like both. Cave. Me and my buddies used to go to Olive Garden a lot. There's tons of Olive Gardens out here. Tons of them. I haven't went to Fazoli's in quite a long time, but they're good. Bukagi says, at taco time, they're expensive, but good. Right on. That's cool. Let's see. Zach says, you said Jack in the Cracks, Bukaki, not Jack in the Box. The only thing I get at Taco Bell is always the value menu. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with a little jackin' in the crack? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Soft and crunchy. That they are, Zach. That they are. Lantern wants a crown check. I will check it in just a minute, my friend. I'm catching up with the chat. Oh, so they are good at taco time. Okay. Nice. Nice. Mama Bear said I almost fell asleep. Well, Tina, it's okay. If you fall asleep, I'm streaming very, very late. And I'm going to do a stream tomorrow after Lanterns. And so Visions, we're going to do some Friday the 13th topics because, well, technically today is Friday the 13th. So happy Friday the 13th. All right, let's do a crown check. Crown check it up, y'all. All right, so in 10th place, it is Fangirl Kate. In 9th place, it's, and for 7th is Mama Bear. 6 is Bukaki. 5 is Zach. 4 is Visions. 3rd is N4's second channel. 2nd is Mr. Lantern. And, hang on, let me scroll up. It doesn't say first place. So, Lantern, you're not even in first place. Because normally the fight is between Visions and Lantern. Unless Bukaki comes in and says, hey, Lantern, the hell with you, and then he gives me a super chat donation, and, then it just jumps right up. Because that's what happened yesterday, Visions. You had it all the way to the very end, and then Museum did a thing, and then at the very last waking moment, you got it back, because you gave me a $2 donation, which I appreciate, and we made history yesterday. Usually Fears... In a live chat, I'm lucky if I get one donation. Maybe two. But yesterday, I wrote it in the book. Look at this. 5 super chats in one stream. That's never happened until yesterday. So we made history, my friends. So, way to go. Vision says, well, howdy. Happy Friday the 13th, y'all. Well, happy Friday the 13th to you. And when I get off of work, I'm going to watch... one of these, maybe Friday the 13th. You know what? Maybe Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. I haven't seen that one in quite a while. But one of these. Maybe some Jason X. I don't know. I haven't decided. One of them. One of them for sure. One of them for sure, my friend. Oh, yeah. Punk Rock says... he blocked, Punk Rock says he blocked it. It must have been an accident. What, Punk Rock? I may have. I'll have to check. But I'm going to do my show, and when I get off Punk Rock, or whenever I get off of work, I will definitely check, because I don't remember at all blocking Punk Rock. Maybe. I have no idea. Well, thanks, Mr. Lantern, for that super chat donation, y'all. All right, time for a movie review. I've already watched it, but I had to watch it again, so I'm going to re-review it. The origin stories of Predator. It's one of the it's the first time the Predator comes to Earth, and it's about this Indian warrior, and she's from the Comanche. And if you guys have not seen this. And the Predator looks a little different. It's because his suit looks different, because this is the first time he's went out for a hunt. So when it catches up to the 1980s with Arnold, aka Dutch, then they perfected his mask and his suit. But this is the first time he went out. So when I was watching the bonus features, they said, yes, it's going to look new weapons, but technically they're not new weapons. He goes, they're new weapons to the audience, but technically they're old weapons, because we wanted to make our Predator, this is the first time he's wearing a mask, this is the first time he's using his weapons. So they said by the time it catches up with the Predator in the 80s, he's perfected his mask and he's perfected his weapons and stuff. I said, yeah, that makes sense. And he said, really, the weapons he uses in Prey, they're obsolete, but they're new to the audience because it's a prequel. I said, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, Prey. I'm going to give it, it's good. Visions, Bukaki, if you guys haven't seen this, you're missing out. Zach, you got to watch this. Zach, I don't know if you're a fan of the Predator series, but if you are, you got to watch it. Fantastic film. Decent amount of bonus features. From here down, all this is bonus features. Fantastic. I'm going to give it a solid... I'm going to give it a solid 9.8 out of 10. The reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I love the 1980s ones better. So, 9.8 out of 10. Lots of action. Lots of action. Lots of danger. Lots of kills. The best kill is there's this cowboy guy, and you find out that's where the Predator gets that gun, that old-fashioned gun that shows up in Predator 2. The cowboy kill, in my opinion, I don't know if it's the best kill. It's one of the best kills. That's the one I'm going to write down. It's my favorite kill. There's other kills in it, but that's one of my favorites. So the cowboy kill. So cowboy kill, to me, is the best kill. It's the first time you see one of the Predator's ships, so the ship looks cool. Again, it's new gizmos and gadgets to the audience, but really, technically, it's obsolete technology by the time he gets to, like, face Dutch, in the Predator. So I like the old tech. So love the old tech. And I love the first time you see the spaceship. The spaceship looks pretty badass. So cool spaceship. Let's see what else. Lots of danger, lots of action. Kick-ass sci-fi film. It's up there. So kick-ass sci-fi film. There's some throwbacks. Because when I watched all the bonus features, they said we wanted to honor the original source material of the 80s Predator, but he goes, we wanted to make it our own. So he said, one way how we honored it is when you start watching Prey, you think it's just like it's going to be just like a movie about Indians. And they said that's what they did in Predator. He said at first, when you're watching Predator, you think it's just another Arnold Schwarzenegger action war movie, and then all of a sudden you see the Predator, and you're like, oh, shit, it's an alien. Damn, this ain't a war movie. This is a sci-fi movie. Sci-fi / horror. He goes, we did the same thing. He goes, the first half has to do with a lot of the Comanche Indians, and she goes, I'm so sick of just cooking and cleaning. She goes, I want to be a hunter. And they're like, no, you're a woman. Like, you're not ever going to be a hunter. And she's like, bullshit. And then she's like, what do you mean bullshit? Like, I want to be a hunter. And they're like, and then like her brother in the film's like, you think you're ready? She goes, I know I'm ready. And he's like, bullshit, you're not ready. And he goes, I'll do the hunting. You do the gathering and cleaning and all that. So it's kind of like a slap in the face to ladies, And the Indians are like, no, we'll take care of it. You go wash the clothes and you go, scavenge for vegetables, and we'll take care of all this. And all of a sudden, bam, she makes herself a tomahawk, which was really cool. And they let the actress keep the tomahawk, because in the behind the scenes, she's like, I'm keeping this. She goes, it's one of my weapons that I use. She goes, and they handmade it. She goes, the Indians handmade it for me, which I thought was cool. And she goes, I'm keeping it. She goes, no matter what. So hopefully they let her keep it. I don't know 100% if they let her keep it, but in the bonus features, she was like, oh, I'm keeping it. So hopefully she did, because the tomahawk looked pretty badass. So when she's out she's actually disobeying her father and mother. She's supposed to be gathering water and flowers and supplies, and then she sees the ship go down. She's like, well, I'm going to go hunting. And she sees the Predator. So technically, she's like not following the rules. She's not following her brother's rules, and she's not following her father's rule, because she's so sick and tired of people saying, no, you can't be a hunter. You can't be a hunter. She's like, motherfucker, let me show you. Like I'll show you I can hunt. Like, don't say I can't hunt. I know I can hunt. I'm smart, and so she does prove them. Because spoiler alert. Well, no, I don't want to say how it ends, because I try to do these reviews without ruining the film. So, unless it's like an old movie like Willy Wonka or Goonies, everyone's seen that, but people in the community may not have seen this. Some may have, may not. What's up, Tinder Immortal? She says, oh, hell yeah. The Carrie Haunted House video, Christmas Dance, Richie's favorite. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're both on the channel somewhere. I think both of those, Tinder Immortal, both of those are, I want to say those are on Fearsman26. I could be wrong, Tinder Immortal, but if they're not on Fearsman26, they're on Fears Vlogs. But I remember both of those, and they're both funny. Let's see. Everybody knows the Predator teaches the community about the... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Mr. Lantern did a long stream. He did, but it was a fun stream. I definitely liked it. I didn't catch all of it, but I caught some of it. because I definitely wanted to get a. I'm wide awake because I definitely had a nap before work. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? So love the old tech. Love the spaceship. 9.8 out of 10. Lots of action. Lots of danger. Kick-ass sci-fi film. His cloak, where he on his I don't know I don't know what you'd call it. On his arm, he has like this this bomb and this control pad, so he can like uncloak himself real quick and then cloak himself, be invisible, not be invisible. That's always been in the Predator series. That's always good. His first version of the suit and the mask, it's pretty cool. I'll be honest. I like the older movies, those suits, but it's kind of nice to go back into the past. So he's got like half a mask on. He's still rocking the dreadlocks. They hired real Comanche Indians to play all the tribe. She's not part of the tribe, but she looks Indian. She's like, I was honored to be an Indian. She goes, I'm not part of this tribe. They had an Indian consultant, and the director said, if I'm doing something wrong, you tell me. He goes, I want everything to be as historically accurate to the Comanche tribe. And if I mess up, you tell me. She goes, oh, I will. And they made everything. They made like all the teepees in the village from scratch. And he goes, we built that entire Indian village for the film. Everything was made handmade. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. So the movie sets were awesome. And they did a lot of on location shooting. And they shot it in Alberta, Canada. So shot in Canada. Cool movie sets. Most of it is outside. Most of the film is outside. Except for a few times where, you see the inside of his spaceship. But most of it's outside. Yo, what's up, museum? What's up? Wow, what a treat. Well, museum, I'll do a crown check. Because you and Visions were back and forth. Chad thought he had a chance. And before you came in, museum, I told everybody, well, Lanham was doing pretty good. And then museum gave me, now I know finally what the exchange rate is. You sent like $2 or something, and then New Zealand, I asked Meta, and it's really $1.19. So then you had it for a little while, and then Visions came in hot at the very end and gave me a $2 donation. I was like, oh, well, you snooze, you lose. And then he got it at the very last waking moment. So I will do another crown check. So, let me see here. Connect, y'all. In 11th place is Tinder Immortal. Shout out to Tinder Immortal. Tinder Immortal, I'm so glad that you're back, not only in the chat, but making your content. I watched your first movie that you posted in 4 years. I'm glad you got your channel back and fixed whatever you needed to fix. I'm glad you're making content again. 10th place is N4. 8th place is Delex. Hopefully I said that right. 7th is Bukaki. 6th is Zach. 5th is N4's second channel. 4th is Lantern. Come on, Lantern. You got to get rocking. 2nd place is Mama Bear. And then in 1st place, coming in hot, is Lord Visions. Oh, yeah. So there you go. There you go. All right. So let me finish this. Let's see. What else? I do recommend Prey. It is so good. It's not my favorite Predator movie, but it's high on the list. I would say, obviously, it would go Predator with Arnold. That's my favorite one. Then I actually like this one more than Predator 2. I do like Predator 2, so it's going to go Predator, then Prey, then Predator 2, then Predators. That's the third one. And then the last one's The Predator. So that would be the order I like it. Oh, no, and then I just watched Predator Badlands. So it would go, I forgot about that one. So it would go Predator, Prey, Predator 2, then Predators, then Predator Badlands, because I like Predator Badlands. This is my least favorite one. The Predator. That's my least favorite. So it would go Badlands and then The Predator. Yeah, I just, for some reason, I didn't like this last one as much. But it's all right. It's not like going nuts or anything, but it's I definitely like Predator Badlands more than that one. Anyway, so I do recommend the film. If you guys get a chance, watch it because it's really good. Really good. I do recommend it. Let me put these over here. Let me catch up with the chat here. Not so fast, Crown Steelers. I know. You got to be fast, Visions. Visions got in there. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Hell yeah, dudes. Oh, yeah. Fears gets a stream in when I can. Museum, I hope you're having a good night. Tina, do you have any OnlyFans page? She doesn't have an OnlyFans page. Come on. Tinder Immortal says, favorite Dan Aykroyd movie. Oh, God. There's so many. I'll do my top 3, Tinder Immortal, and I'll write them down in the book. So, top 3 favorite Dan Aykroyd films. He's one of my favorite actors. All right. Obviously, the first one's Ghostbusters. I think it's so cool. He thought of that in his brain, went to his house in Martha's Vineyard, sat in his basement, locked himself in his basement as he tells the story, and him, Harold Ramis, his buddy that played Egon, and Ivan Reitman, the director, they sat in his basement and they said during the day they would just sit in his basement and just write all day. And then they would come out of his basement for lunch, go back downstairs, write some more. And then Dan Aykroyd always took them out to dinner at some restaurant at the end of the writing day. And they said they wrote Ghostbusters in, I believe he said 3 weeks. That's pretty fast to write a whole movie script. So Ghostbusters would be first. Second would be the Blues Brothers. Because I can't pick between those. The Blues Brothers is just as good as Ghostbusters. I love them both. The Blues Brothers. And then the third one, that movie with him and Chevy Chase, Spies Like Us. I have that one on DVD. I need to get it on Blu-ray. Him and Chevy Chase are hilarious. Especially the scene where they're taking a test and he's trying to take the test like fairly. And Chevy Chase's character's like, all right, nobody's looking. I'm going to cheat on this test. And then Chevy's like, hey, man, help me out. Help me cheat on this test. And Dan Aykroyd's character's like, no, fuck you. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Then he eventually caves in and helps him. And that movie's great. So I'd say those 3, Spies Like Us. So the first one, obviously, it's a no-brainer. Ghostbusters. 2 is Blues Brothers, and then Spies Like Us is number 3. All right, before I review this, I'm going to catch up on the chat. Let's see here. Let's see, Crown. I just did a Crown check, Mr. Lennon. I'll do one here in a few. My Stepmother is an Alien is a good... I do have that one. And I like it, but not as much as those 3. So, yeah. That's the only Predator movie I've seen. Oh, what? What, this one? Well, then, you picked a good one, Tinder Immortal. I'm telling you, watch this one again, and then watch the very first Predator movie with Arnold. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I would say watch this again, watch Predator 1, and at least Predator 2. Watch these 2. And then if you want to watch this one and Predator Badlands, then go for it if you want. But at least watch those 3. At least. At least. Anyway. Bukagi said, I loved Badlands. Oh, I did too. It was good. It's not as good as Prey and the first Predator, Bukagi, but I loved it. And it takes place, I think they said 300 years. I'm trying to remember. Hang on, let me ask Meta. It takes place way in the future, and it's not on the Predator home planet. It's on another planet, like near the Predator homeworld. And the Predator guy, the new type of Predator, he's like kind of like, he's not a sellout, but he's kind of like an outcast. Everyone in his Predator family is like earned their colors and they're considered a hunter. And he's like the weakest link. So he's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to go and not be the weakest link anymore. And I'm going to get like this ultimate kill. So yeah. Hang on. Let me find out. Hey, Meta, I just watched Predator Badlands a few days ago, and I forgot. How far in the future is it from the last Predator?
Predator Badlands takes place in the 25th century, significantly further in the future than the previous Predator films. Specifically, it's set after Alien Resurrection, which occurred in 2381, and extends the shared Alien and...
Okay, so it's in the 25th century beyond 2381, correct?
Not exactly. The exact timeline isn't clearly defined in relation to the year 2381. Predator Badlands does take place in the future, but without...
Well, you just said the 25th century. Anyway, 25th century. So it's... Because all the other Predators are in the 21st century, so it's... The next one is, like I said, Bukaki, it's way in the future. And you guys know I love those futuristic movies. I love sci-fi, so I'm like, when I found out that it was way in the future, I was like, oh, hell yeah, here we go. And I agree. It says, Bukaki said, creative alien monsters and interesting fight scenes. Oh yeah, it was good. The fight scenes were on par. The creature suits, pretty good. And they shot all of that entire movie. Big shout out to Museum. They shot it entirely in New Zealand. So the whole film, this was shot all in Alberta, Canada, and the newest one shot entirely in New Zealand. And I've never been to New Zealand, but in the movie, it looks beautiful. So there you are. So let's see here. But I agree, Bukaki. I'm looking forward. Also, before I move on, I almost forgot. Vic sent me an article, and he said, Fears, can you read it on your... and it applies to Arnold and it applies to Predator since I just reviewed Prey, and I forgot to read it. And he goes, Fears, I wanted you to read it on camera. I said, I will. So let me go to my Discord. I touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I want to touch on it more. On Facebook, my friend sent me, Arnold is supposedly going to do a new Conan. So King Conan, because now he's king. I don't know if that's the name of the movie, but now he's going to be king. Because in the other one, he was just like, he was kind of like a prince. And he wants to be king. And he was doing all these battles and, like, having to deal with all these, like, princesses and all these evil villains with, like, magic and shit. And then he has the sword. And at the end of number 2, Conan the Destroyer, he becomes king. And he's sitting, he's got the robe on. And in one hand, he's got his sword. The other hand, he's got his fucking chalice or whatever they call it. And I was like, hell yeah, he finally is fucking king. So Vic sent me this article, and I'm going to read it. And I told him, I touched on it a little bit yesterday because my friend sent me a similar article on Facebook that he's going to do a new Conan, a new John Matrix Commando 2 movie, and then a new Predator movie. He's coming back as Dutch. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So let me just read you this. Where is it? I need to go back into my Discord messages. Here we go. Arnold says Conan 3 is in the works. It will happen. And so let me click on the actual link. This was from Variety. Hopefully I said that right. Arnold Schwarzenegger says and confirms Conan 3 is in the works. He also revealed new Predator movie talks and Commando 2 script. All three of them are in the works. The studio, and then this is a quote from Arnold. The studio has plenty of money to make all three of those really big. If they're in, I'm in. That's what he basically says. And then it goes on and says, Arnold Schwarzenegger revealed during a conversation at this year's Arnold Sports Festival in Columbus, Ohio, that he's in talks to return to all three of his most iconic action franchises and roles: Predator, Conan the Barbarian, and Commando. they did an additional Predator from director Dan Tertamberg. Hopefully that's how you say it. Arnold said, that director did a great job. Now he wants me to be in the next Predator. We talked about it. Schwarzenegger said, to much applause from the convention audience. As a matter of fact, Fox Studio has kind of rediscovered Arnold. They came to me and said, we want you to do Predator. We just got a script for you to do Commando 2, and we're already working on a script for King Conan. And then he says, first and foremost, I would want to do Conan first. He says, on the Conan front, Schwarzenegger said to the studio, they just hired a fantastic writer-director who did Tom Cruise's last 4 movies to write and direct King Conan. And he said, I wouldn't mind doing all 3, but Conan must come first, because that's where I started. It would appear that the actor is referring to one of his most iconic roles, King Conan. So if they're in, I'm in. And he wants, and so yeah, they wrote all of the Mission Impossible movies. Then he goes on to saying, now what they do is they write the part. The actor said they don't write them like I'm 40 years old. They write them age appropriate. I'm still gonna go in there and kick some ass. And I'm sorry, I'm still gonna go in there and he did a fierce quote. He said, I'm still gonna go in there and kick ass and take names, but it'll be different. It'll be age appropriate. Now that I'm in my, I think he's in his 70s. He goes, now that I'm older. He goes, with King Conan, it's going to be a great story that Conan was 40 years ago. And now that he's a king, he gets forced out of his kingdom, and there's going to be conflict. And of course, there's going to be somehow, some way he comes back and has to deal with all sorts of madness, violence, magic, and creatures and stuff like that. And now, of course, there's all kinds of special effects, so the studio can go buck wild because, and here comes the quote, the studio has plenty of money to make these movies really big, so I'm looking forward to all these projects. If they're in, I'm in, because I love all 3 of these characters. Nice. I'm excited. I am excited. Well, Vic, thank you so much for this article. This basically was almost the same article that my friend sent me on Facebook. Just the one that Vic sent me was a little bit more detailed, which I appreciate, Vic. Thank you very much. So, I can't wait. So, visions ask and you shall receive. I just said this a few days ago. I'm like, just give me another Conan. Just give me another Predator. You know, I don't mind another John Matrix. Now, John Carpenter needs to get off of his fucking ass and just give me one more Snake Plissken. I don't care if he's an old Snake Plissken. I don't care if it's Plissken escaping from Mars, which would be cool. I don't care if he goes back to the prison in New York, which would be cool, because I would love for John Carpenter to come back to St. Louis and shoot again in St. Louis. That would be fucking amazing. I would love to get killed off either by a Predator, or any one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, or a zombie kill. Like if a zombie started chewing on Fierce's neck, blood's all gushing out. I'm like, oh God, oh shit. That'd be great. To call Snake Plissken a fucking asshole, and then he just turns around and blows Fierce's head off, that'd be great. I'd be like, hey Plissken, you can kiss my fucking ass. Eat shit. And then he's like, you know what, Fierce, guess what? Pulls out his gun, bam, you're done. That would be great. I could die a happy man. It would be cool to play. So whenever they do a Snake Plissken, if they ever do a Snake Plissken 3, I don't care where I have to go, Fierce is going to audition. I will audition, absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be great. Anyway, let me get back to the chat. I have the Discord open. But yeah, so Vic, I'm sorry that I didn't read it yesterday. It's almost the same article, almost, that my friend sent me on Facebook. So now that I've read them both, so I am excited. So Bukkake Visions, because you like all 3 of those. You guys introduced me to Conan, because I had never heard of that, ever. That one flew by me when I was a kid. But I knew about John Matrix, because me and my dad watched that together when I was young. Of course, I knew about the Predator movies, because my dad loved it. So, oh yeah. I am excited. It's going to be good. But here's the thing. Delexa, hopefully that's how you say your name. It doesn't matter if he's not 80. I think he's 70 something. It doesn't matter if he's 70, 80, 90. Arnold is still in shape. He's still going to, like he said in the article, he's still going to kick ass and take names, but he's not 40 anymore. So he's still going to get in there and kick some ass. Because Arnold is one of the best action heroes ever. Let me find out how old he is. He's 70-ish. I don't think he's 80 yet. Hey, Meta, I'm just curious. Is Arnold in his 70s or his 80s? And can you tell me his exact age?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is currently 78 years old, and he'll turn 79 later this year.
Oh!
He was born on July 3rd.
Okay, so you're right. By the time he does those movies, he'll probably be in his 80s. Wow. I thought he was like 73, 74. My mistake. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Well, again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's 90 or 80. His guns are still out here because he still works out incredibly. And it's still going to be a great movie. So, yeah. I'm excited. But, yeah, I just need one more snake. Like, Hollywood, get off your ass. John Carpenter, I love you as a director, but get off your ass and just give me one more Snake Plissken. You know what I'm saying? Make it the trilogy. Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., and then whatever adventure. Hell, I would even take if they did Escape from Miami. I don't give a shit where Snake Plissken escapes from. Just let him escape. Like, let him go off to another distant planet. Like, there's a prison in the future on Mars, and he escapes from Mars and gets on a spaceship and escapes Mars and escapes the prison, and he goes back to New York on planet Earth. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Just give me one more adventure. I don't give a shit what he does or where he goes, you know? Just as long as they make another one. And I've heard Kurt Russell say in interviews, he goes, if John Carpenter's in, I'm in. He goes, unless John does it, I won't do it. Which sucks. And he goes, if they did something like, if they made another character like Snake Plissken's son, he goes, maybe I would make a cameo. He goes, because it wouldn't be the focus wouldn't be on Snake Plissken. It would be on my son. He goes, and it would be cool at the end of the film. You see Snake just rotting in a jail cell, like smoking a cigarette or something. And Kurt Russell said this in interviews. He goes, I like that he does not give a shit about anything. He goes, the only thing he cares about is telling people, I don't care. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't come to me with your problems because I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about the world. Literally, one of the line of dialogues in the first film is, get a new president. Fuck your president. He doesn't give a shit about anything except for people leaving him alone. That's what, and he barely talks, so that's what makes him so great. Because when he does say something, it's badass. So hopefully they'll make a third one. If they don't, I'll be content with 2, but it would be nice to have a perfect trilogy. So yeah. But I didn't know Arnold was that old. I thought he was like 73, 74-ish. Anyway, let me catch up with the chat. They sell Emo's Pizza in the food aisles. Yes, they do, Tinder Immortal. I've already tried it. I went back to Aldi's. It was me and Dave found it at Aldi's. I had 4 of them. Dave bought like 5 or 6 because Dave said he still got some left in his freezer. I've already ate all the... I grabbed 4 of them. I went back to Aldi's when me and Dave were hanging out and we went and saw Scream 7. I said, hey, Dave, on the way back to my house, let me check. Let me check to see if they have any. I went in and I asked the lady, yeah, you guys keep your pizzas in these frozen food section. She goes, we do. I said, do you guys have any Emo's Pizza? I said, it's a St. Louis, Missouri-based pizza. I said, it's like a mom and pop's. I said, it was invented in St. Louis. She goes, oh, yeah. She goes, no, we don't have them anymore. She goes, that was a seasonal item. And I was like, oh, damn it. And she goes, oh, did you not get to try? I said, oh, no. I said, I grew up there. I said, I've tried it, but I said, I've already tried the frozen version. I said, I bought 4 of them and they were in my fridge. And she's like, any left? I said, oh, no. I said, they're all gobbled up. I said, I already ate them. And I said, I was coming back to see if you guys had any more. So, yeah. Because I would have did a pizza review. Because I've been doing pizza reviews on my TikTok and on my YouTube recently. So, yeah. So now that I have a free pizza, I guess I'll do a Papa John's pizza review. So Whenever I eat some of it tomorrow night, I'll do a pizza review for you guys. Escape from Claremont, Florida. Yeah, that'd be great. Vision says, hey, Fierce, what about Snake Plissken Escape from the Retirement Village? LOL. I don't care. That'd be great, Visions. Whatever type of, like, adventure they want to have him on. Because Ghost of Mars was supposed to be the third Snake Plissken movie. And for whatever reason, John Carpenter said, I changed my mind and the studio wasn't going to give me as much money as I wanted to make, Escape from Mars. So he said, I basically just took that script and put Ice Cube in it, and I changed the script around, and instead of having it be around Snake Plissken, he goes, I made this black superhero, and he escapes from Mars. And I was like, oh, you should have did it. So I hope one day, that'd be cool if, like, not just Mars, maybe, like, they have a prison, like, on the moon, and Snake Plissken he's an escape artist, but he's also a criminal. So that'd be great if he got in trouble again. And they're like, you know what? We're so sick of Snake Plissken. We're putting him on the moon. We're putting him on the moon in this jail. He'll never escape that. And then he escapes it, and then he goes back to New York. Whatever. I don't care. Just do a third one, because they're already going to do a Conan and a Predator, and all this other stuff that I like. Just give me a third one. So, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully. You never know. We'll see. All right. Moving right along. So, this one was good. I highly recommend this one. This was made 1974. Oh, hang on. I didn't mean to drop it. 1974. I knew Walter Matthau. There he is. Because I know him from, like, Grumpy Old Man and The Odd Couple and stuff. He did a lot of comedies. I thought he only did comedies and drama. Because I've seen some of his older work, him in drama movies. I never knew he did action films. But he did. But before I started watching Lanterns, I finished this. And I said, well, now I'm curious. I said, they make him as an action star in this. I'm like, I wonder how many action movies he's done. So I looked up, and he actually did quite a few dramas, quite a few comedies, and action. He never did a horror movie, and he never did anything like sci-fi. Not to my knowledge when I did my research, but I was like, I never know. I'm like, I never knew he did an action film. Very enjoyable. They did remake this with Denzel Washington and John Travolta, so I haven't seen that one yet. But it'll be hard to top this. Robert Shaw is in this, that plays Quinn out of Jaws. Great actor. There he is. I did watch all the bonus features, though, and they said half the time he was drunk on set. But they said the minute they called action, he sobered up. And he did the same thing on Jaws. So he definitely had a drinking problem, but they said the minute we called action, he went sobered up and delivered his line. He goes, but that guy drank his fucking ass off. And I was like, wow. I'm like, I didn't know that. So yeah. All right. The Taking of Pemhan 1, 2, 3. It was a good one. It was a good movie, my friends. All right. I'm going to give it, let's see. For it being an older film, 1974, thank God there was no boring parts. It was action, 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 go, 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 go. I didn't fall asleep, because you guys know, sometimes Fears is falling asleep during movies. If that happens, the rating goes down, because it didn't keep my full attention. That couch is so comfy, though. I've had many naps on it. So, yeah. So, good amount of bonus features. So, good amount of bonus features. Great acting. Great acting. Taking of Edward... Oh, that's Visions. That's not me. No. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. So, Visions. This guy likes Edward Penis Hands too. Well, if you want an Edward Penis Hands shirt, you can go to exhumedvisions.com. He's made one. I can't do it, Visions. That'll probably be the only shirts I will not buy off of Exhumed Visions is Edward Penis Hands and anything to do with Satan. I got away with the Problem Child one because I like that movie. But besides anything else, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so those two I won't be buying anytime. But yeah, if you want it, it's at Exhumed Visions. Favorite John Goodman movie. I will get to it in just a minute as soon as I review this. So, good acting, lots of action, shot entirely in New York, shot in New York, 70s New York. Most of it was shot, you barely see the top side of New York. And what I mean is you see a lot of you see all the train stations and the subway stations, and then you see a lot inside the subway train and down the shaft, but you hardly see like the top. Like when you walk up the stairs, like out of the subway, you see New York a little bit, but mostly you see the bowels of New York. So yeah. Let's see, lots of danger. My favorite kill, and I'll be honest, he's the main bad guy. His kill, like someone kills him. I'm not gonna reveal how he died, but because in case somebody hasn't seen this, I don't want to ruin it, but him getting killed is the best kill. So, the main bad guy kill. That's my favorite kill in the movie. Let's see here. My two favorite scenes, probably when they've gotten the money, because they hold all these people hostage. When they get the money, they're all wearing a disguise. So they're wearing kind of like a very thin mask on their face. It's kind of like that stuff that Doc Brown was wearing in part 2 where he takes off the flesh tone. And he's like, sorry, Marty, I didn't think you'd recognize me. And he peels it off to reveal his... They're wearing like a thin layer flesh tone mask. And they're wearing fake mustaches and fake wigs. And they just take off. They're like, oh yeah, we got the money. We're off the train. None of the passengers got killed, so we're going to get away with it scot-free. So they peel off the mustache, they peel off the fake eyebrows, and they peel off the very thin flesh tone mask. And then they came prepared, so they're like, all right, get rid of the gloves so no one can identify our fingerprints. Get rid of your coat. They all get a new change of clothes. And as they're leaving, Walter Matthau takes out one guy. The other one dies. I'm not going to tell you how, but that part is action-packed. That's probably my favorite scene. Because you think, oh, they're going to get away with this scot-free. So, them almost getting away. Changing out of their costumes, I guess, whatever you want to call it. My second favorite scene, the ending's good. I can't tell you the ending because, again, if you haven't seen it, it'll ruin it. It's very... There's a lot of twists and turns at the very end. You think, oh, I thought it was that guy. Oh, shit, that guy was involved? And there's a big kind of like surprise ending. So the ending is absolutely fantastic. So that ending was good. Oh, shit, and I forgot to do my two favorite scenes out of Prey. My two favorite scenes, obviously when she kills the Predator at the end. I'm not going to say how she kills it because that would ruin it, but her last battle with the Predator at the end, phenomenal. So, killing the Predator is my second favorite scene. And then when he kills the cowboy, it's a good scene, but it's not my favorite. That's my favorite kill, but it's not my favorite scene. My favorite scene probably is when her brother, when she's attempting to kill the predator, and her brother helps her, and he's riding around on a horse, and he's got his bow and arrow and his tomahawk, and he's going fucking nuts, and it's the predator versus him. And again, I'm not going to say who wins and loses because it'll ruin it, but it's fucking great. Watch it. So when they're both trying to kill the predator, so, and that's a big battle, her and her brother. So her and her brother duking it out with the predator. I highly recommend this. It's good. And for a 70, I mean, it's pretty old. It's 104 minutes. It was made in 1974. I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. A big thumbs up. I highly recommend it. All right. All right. Tinder Immortal said, let's see here. Favorite John Goodman movie. Vision says, hell yeah. I know you like it. I know you love that Edward Penis Hands. And Visions, you know there's a sequel. And the only reason why I know that is somebody in the community sent me, maybe it may have been you or your brother, sent me a link. He was on Conan O'Brien. And Conan says, do you know that there's this movie? And he goes, yeah. He goes, that's the weirdest thing about my career is when people do a parody of one of my favorite movies to direct. He goes, and I found out that they made a porno. And then Conan makes a joke of, oh, there's going to be a sequel. And he goes, well, Conan, actually, there already is a sequel. And I was like, oh my God. So they made a part 2 to that. I don't know if you've seen it, Visions. You probably have. But I was like, they made a sequel to that shit? I'm like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. All right. Favorite John Goodman movie. Oh, let's see here. That's a hard one, Tinder Immortal. I may have to pick 3, because all 3 of these movies are damn good. It's hard to pick. Because John Goodman is a phenomenal actor, and he's from St. Louis. So, favorite 3 John Goodman movies. I thought he was a phenomenal Fred Flintstone. You know, people may not like that family-friendly movie. I watched it as a kid. It's undeniable. Fears has told you this before. I watched the shit load of cartoons when I was a kid. I still watch a shitload of cartoons. I'm going to start watching Captain Planet and the Planeteers here very, very soon, and I'll do a review on that. It doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or 105. Cartoons are amazing. I love cartoons. So if I wasn't watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was watching The Real Ghostbusters, my favorite cartoon of all time. I was watching the Flintstones, or George Jetson, or Inspector Gadget, or Heathcliff, or oh God, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where he would fly off a cliff and he froze in midair, and then he held up a sign that said, "Oh no," and then he fell down. And I'm like, why hasn't he died yet? Because the Roadrunner would run him over with trains and strap dynamite to him, and then he would take a slingshot, the Roadrunner, and fling a piece of dynamite, and Wile E. Coyote would swallow it. The coyote should have died years ago, but they're funny. So I like the Flintstones, so it would be the Flintstones first. And then second, Tinder Immortal. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but I loved him in King Ralph. King Ralph is not only hilarious, they shot it all in England. Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. The first 2 shots, I think, are in New York. The rest of the movie is in England. So King Ralph is amazing. If you've never seen it, you're missing out. John Goodman, King Ralph. Highly recommend it. The third one would probably be I loved him in Roseanne, but that's not a movie, but I'm going to write it down anyway. So, I loved him in Roseanne. Dan Cotter. That's probably, I'd say that is his, probably what he's going to be known for the most. Him and that and Fred Flintstone. So Roseanne. But if we're just talking movies, it would be Flintstones, King Ralph, and then when he played Babe Ruth, when he did the biopic and he portrayed Babe Ruth, I thought that film was fantastic. So I'm gonna put down Babe Ruth as well. So yeah, all right. Watch all those. I highly recommend it. All right, let's see here. Let's see, it's 3:28. I probably have time for either one or two more topics. I'll see how many I can get to before I have to mosey on off to work. But it's almost been 2 hours. Pretty good show. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let's see. Top 10 Fearsman26 videos. I don't think I've ever done this one. I've done Top 10 Fears Vlogs videos before, but I don't think I've done Fearsman26. If you've got a favorite, put it in the chat. What's one of your favorite top Fearsman26 videos? Let me know. All right, let me go to Fearsman26 and have a look-see, because I've got a lot. Some I've already got in my mind. Definitely the Kane Hodder interviews that I put on Fearsman26. Those are some of my favorite. I never thought in a million billion years I would get to interview him, and damn, what a treat. Such a nice guy. He was a really nice guy. He was like, oh, Fears, ask me whatever you want. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm an open book. I was like, sweet. So I'm going to start with that one. Kane Hodder interviews. And all those, I believe, are on Fearsman26. Yeah. Probably, I like all the Fearsman episodes, but my favorite is probably because it's 22 minutes long, and me and Randall spent so much time on it. The very first one, Fearsman 1, Episode 1, The Adventure Begins. So, Fearsman Episode 1. Again, I love all of the Fearsmans, and I'm very proud of all 5 of them. Me and Randall are going to work on 6 as soon as he takes care of his mom and his home situation. Everything gets back to normal. I'm like, Randall, we can get back to work on the script whenever you want. So, it's on hold for right now, but we're going to get back to it. So, Fearsman Episode 1. I am very proud of that. Very proud. Let's see here. Let's see. What else? Let's see. I'm looking through my videos right now. I do love my Adam the Woo interview, because I only got one. I met him 4 times, but to actually interview him, it was awesome. So, Adam the Woo interview. I've gotten the rare privilege to interview a lot of celebrities, and it's awesome. It's very awesome, my friends. Let's see here. What else? I'm going back. I'm going through the archives. Let's see here. I would say any of the Toy Man toy shows. I mean, they're all good. Let's see here. Well, even though it's a funny video and I got a lot of shit for it, it was funny. I had since I've made this video, I've never gotten any troll mail since. So burning troll mail, I have to put down. It got 250 views. So yeah, because I went over the top and I was like, "Hey trolls, guess what?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna read this. Fuck you!" And I literally like ripped it. I think I did read it, but I ripped it up and I burnt it, and I just turned it into a really funny video. I was not mad whatsoever. I just said, "Oh, well, if they're gonna send me all this troll mail, I got to do something funny with it. And so I burned it. So burning troll mail. Now, I haven't gotten any troll mail in quite a long time. Now, I probably would not do that. I probably would just throw it away. Because I have not got troll mail in quite a while. Now that I've said something, I guarantee you, I'll probably get some. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully I don't. So, burning troll mail. And Visions, you asked if I had checked. I checked Monday and I checked Tuesday. And then I didn't bother to check Wednesday or Thursday. After work, I'm gonna check when I either on the way home from work or later on today, because technically it's Friday. I usually check once a week or once every 2 weeks, but I checked it on Monday and Tuesday because she said if you get too much, then we just put it in the back. And I was like, I said my box is never gonna get filled up. I said I've had it for years. I said if it hasn't got filled up any of those years, it won't get filled up anytime soon. But I said, I try to check it a couple times, so those ladies at that post office is not, I try to keep it as easy for them as possible. But I even told the lady, I said, well, I don't get that much. I said, I get some here and there, but I said, yeah, I'll definitely check it in a couple days. So, yeah. All right. Let me get back to the Fears archives. So far, Kane Hodder interview, Fearsman 1, Adam the 1, burning troll mail. It was fun. It was fun. It was a funny video. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. I'm kind of going through the archives. I would say any of my film school projects that I uploaded. There's a lot, so I'm just going to say film school projects. And then the next one, probably the first time I don't know if it was the first time, but it was one of the first few times I got to play Cody in Randall's Cameo Man. Randall was like, well, Fears, before we start the Fearsman projects, because Randall's the one that said, Fears, I feel bad. You love Fearsman, and the only time you've got to invent Fearsman is when you did that live action thing at film school and you made that costume and someone interviewed you. I said, yeah, that was fun, Randall. And he goes, well, if you help me voice a character in my Cameo Man stuff for my YouTube channel, he goes, do you want to make Fearsman? I said, oh, dude, I would love to. And I said, what character am I going to play? And he goes, you're going to play Ray's sidekick, Cody. He's like 16 or 17. Now, Cody's like 19 or 20 because I've been voicing him for quite a long time. And I said, well, what is he? He goes, well, you're Ray's sidekick. He goes, it's kind of like a ripoff of Batman and Robin. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, right on. That's cool. So I said, sure. So it's not the first time, but it's one of our most favorite ones where Fears did the classic line, I've been stealing your yogurt. So that was funny. So the I've been stealing your yogurt video it's on my channel, and it's legendary. So I'm going to check it. But I will check my fan mail. Vision says, that's nice of you. Well, yeah, it is, because they've already got enough to deal with, Visions, And I told the lady, I said, I doubt my box will ever get overfilled. I said, it never has. I said, I don't think it ever would. I said, if it ever does, I said, just take the stuff out of my box and just put it in the back and I'll get to it. She goes, well, we only put like your fan letters in there. And I said, that's fine. She goes, if it's in a big box, because she said some of your fans have sent you stuff in big boxes. I said, oh, I know. I said, I always pick it up. I said, Walter's box remember Walter's box? Walter's box was about that tall and probably about that wide. And it was filled to the brim with stuff. And I feel bad now when I unboxed it. Some things I liked, some things I didn't. I should have said thank you to all because Walter hasn't sent me anything since then. Hopefully I can redeem myself. But Walter was like, Fears, you didn't appreciate it. I said, that's not true. I said, I did appreciate it. I said, just some things I didn't like. I should have never voiced if I liked it or disliked. I should have just said thank you to everything. So from now on, if I ever get any fan mail, even if I don't like something, I'm just gonna be like, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you getting me this. I appreciate you getting me that. Because man, did I get shit for that. Oh, it was so bad. And then I made Walter feel like shit. I said, I swear I was not trying to make you feel like shit. I said, my bad, buddy. Because I did appreciate everything. I've appreciated anything and everything that fans have sent me, but I try to make it simple, Visions, because I know that P.O. box is never going to get filled up, ever. One, the box is like, it's about that tiny and you open it up. So I said, that's one. I said, but two, I said, yeah, I'll check it. I always check it at least once a week. But I'm gonna check it later on today. Sometimes I've waited. I'm like, all right, well, I haven't got anything in a while. I'll check it once every 2 weeks. But they always ask. I got a letter in the mail saying, can you check your box at least once a week? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I will. So yeah. All right. So far I've got Kane Hodder interviews, Fearsman 1, Adam the Woo interview, Burning of the Troll Mail, Film School projects, I've been stealing your yogurt, let's see, I need 4 more. Okay, so let me go to the Fearsman archives. Burning of the Troll Mail. Okay, let's see. I'm looking through here. I'm trying to do this quickly because I'd like to get another topic in because I'm at 3:49. And like I said, I'm probably going to end this at 3:50, 4 o'clock so I can get to work on time because I've already made my lunch so I can just end this and go right to work. You know, Visions, it took me a long time, but I'm glad I did it because you wanted it so much. I'm going to write down the Sleepaway Camp movie review. It took me a while, but I finally got it done. So, Sleepaway Camp review. And because it took so long and it was so epic of a project, I think that's the reason why I put it on Fearsman26. I may have put it on Fears Vlogs too, but I think I put it on both. Let me see here. I need 3 more. Let's see here. I'm going back. Let's see. What else? Me and Randall have done a lot of parodies. We did a Weekend at Bernie's 2 cartoon parody. One of my favorite trailers that me and Randall have done for Fearsman is Fearsman Episode 5. I think I'm going to put that one down. Because that is a great trailer. And that's probably my favorite one so far that Randall's made for me. I mean, we both contributed, but Randall was the one that put it together. So, Fearsman 5. Again, when I make more projects on Fearsman, I'll probably have to redo this list at some point down the road. And I will. Fearsman 5 trailer. Let's see what else. See what else. Probably the ranch bathing challenge because that was the only challenge I've ever done, and that got 240 views. Because Richie, I hate to say it, Richie was too much of a pussy to do it. So yeah. So I said, all right. I said, well, Richie, I said, it's such a good idea. I'm going to fucking do it. And Richie was like, oh, Fears, by all means, do it. And I went, oh, I will. It took me 4 showers to get all the ranch off, but I'm glad I did. So ranch bathing challenge for sure. Ranch bathing challenge. And then number 10, let's see here. I've went back 4 years. Let me go back a little bit more. I do love the remake that me and Mike and my friend Jonathan did. We this is going back a lot of years. We went to a convenience store and I said, hey, Mike, I said, how great would it be if we recreated the scene from Michael J. Fox's Teen Wolf. I said, I'll go in and I'll be like, give me a keg of beer. And I said, can you make my eyes red, Mike? And he goes, oh, fears. He goes, I've got After Effects. He goes, that's easy. He goes, that's easy. And I said, okay. I said, well, let's do it. So give me a keg of beer. And then I re-edited it years later. And probably the last one, I will always love The Lonely Ghost short film. I think that's one of my best short films I've ever made. Because it came to me in a dream. I think it was because it was around Halloween. I was watching all these crazy horror movies. And I remember I woke up and I had this dream of like this ghost having unfinished business. And he just could not leave the graveyard and go to heaven. Every time he tried to leave the graveyard, like this force field popped up. And he just, no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't leave until he figures out his unfinished business. So I know everybody wants a sequel to it. Maybe one day we will. So I think I'm going to put down my last one, The Lonely Ghost. But I'm going to watch Give Me a Keg of Beer real quick because, God, I haven't seen this in years. This one's great. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, what can I get for you?
I'd like keg of beer.
Keg of beer, please.
Do you have any ID?
I think I forgot it.
You know what, man? You were in here last week. I am not falling for that. No ID, no goddamn beer.
Give me a keg of beer. Here it is. So Mike fucked with my voice, and then he made my eyes go from this little, and he made them real big and red, and it looks so good, just like in Teen Wolf. And when I remember Mike's like, Fears, I made your voice a little deeper, like how Michael J. Fox did it. I said, yeah. I said, that's good. I said, I want it exactly like how it was in the show. I said, I said, Mike, you're not old, but I said, you're gonna play the old man, you know, behind the counter where he's like, get it through your thick skull, no ID, no goddamn beer. And Mike's like, I can do that, Fears. And I said, I'll be Michael J. Fox. And I said, Jonathan will be the cameraman because Jonathan didn't want to be in it for some reason. He goes, I'll film it for you, Fears. And I went, right on. So, oh yeah.
Okay, alright, calm down.
All right, calm down. I thought it came out really good. And then the last one, The Lonely Ghost short film. I think that's my best short film. Either that or the Magnavolt one. Because the Magnavolt, it's not really a short film. I love RoboCop so much, and my friend Keenan did too. And it wasn't my idea. He goes, Fears, we should do that. We should remake that fucking commercial. And I was like, well, Keenan, you got to be more precise. I'm like, there's a lot of cheesy commercials in RoboCop 1, 2, and 3. He's like, no. He's like, we got to do my favorite. I said, well, what one's your favorite? I said, I love all those commercials. I said, I love the Nukem board game. I said, I love the Delta City, you know, Wave of the Future, or that commercial in the third one. He's like, no. He said, we got to do Magnavolt. And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's a good one. I said, yeah, we'll do that one. So, The Lonely Ghost. But I thought I pulled off the cheesy Magnavolt guy. Magnavolt, the ultimate solution in auto security. No more traveling alarm noise. No need to bother the police. And it won't even run down your battery in your car. And then I gave a little smile and I was like, try by. And I drove off and I was out of there. And it was great. And you guys loved it. And it was fan-fucking-tastic. It was great. All right, let me close the archives. Let's see. Vision says, Fears, I haven't sent you anything. Oh, I never thought you did, Visions. I'm going to check it anyway, because like I said, let's see. But plan on mailing some bootleg Dave Copperfield TV specials. That'll work. That'll definitely work. Make sure they're Blu-ray. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking around. No, I never implied that. I always check it. I always try to check it on Friday. So, yeah. because I got an email recently. She's like, try to at least check your P.O. box at least once a week. And I said, well, I do. And then she's like, if not once a week, try to do at least two weeks. I said, well, I don't get that much. I said, I love when I get fan mail, but I said, I haven't gotten any in a while. I said, the fans try to spread it out. Because I like the gaps in between because it means more. If I got fan mail every single week, I don't want it to seem like it's, what's the word? I don't want it to seem like it's, like I don't appreciate it, or oh yeah, here's some more fan mail. You know, I said when I get it, it's a treat because I'm like, oh shit, I haven't gotten any fan mail in quite a while. Nice, awesome, you know. She's like, oh no, she's like, I get what you're saying. She's like, just try to check it at least once or twice a week and she goes, I'm telling everyone this. She goes, John, she goes, some people that have a P.O. box, she goes, some of them don't check it for weeks on end. I said, well, you won't get that problem from me. I said, I'll check it at least. I said, I don't know about twice a week, but I said, I'll check it at least once. This week, I've checked it twice so far. So if I don't check it today, then I'll check it next Monday. So, yeah. Make a short on the ranch challenge. Well, I mean, I already technically did. And I'm not making fun of Richie. I said, Richie, it will not cost that much. I said, Richie, you know those big bottles of ranch? And he's like, yeah, I do, Fears. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, don't do the big bottle. I said, get the industrial bottles. Like if you owned like a business or like a restaurant, Richie. I said, the industrial bottles are like about that tall and about that wide. I said, they sell them at Walmart. I said, if you got 5 of those, Richie, I said, you don't have to fill up your entire bathtub. I said, dump like 5 of those industrial bottles. I said, then fill the rest of the bathtub up with water, and the water will mix with the ranch. I said, then just dive in. And I said, don't do it in the fucking shower. I said, make an actual bath. And he's like, oh, maybe. And Visions, you know, I'm telling the truth. I must have asked Richie at least 10 times. And finally, after the 11th time, I'm like, he's never going to do it. Fuck it. I'll do it. I said, because it'll be legendary. And it was. So, yeah. We watched a movie called A Ghost Story the other day. I think they ripped off The Lonely Ghost. Did they? Well, shame on them. Shame on them. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. I reviewed Prey. I reviewed that. I did the Dan Aykroyd movies. I did John Goodman movies. I think that's a good place to stop. I think that's a good place to stop. So I will retitle my my stream. So I'm gonna save the celebrity stories for another day. I'm gonna do the best movie quotes another day. So I'll probably stream tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. I'll probably stream today after Lantern stream. So look forward to another late one because I can go as late as I want tomorrow because I don't have to work tomorrow because I always have Friday night off, all of Saturday. So I have Sunday night off. It's Sunday going into Monday morning. So yeah. And it's 3:51. So I said I was going to end it around this time because I don't want to be late to work. But what a great stream. I appreciate everybody staying up and watching this late. I didn't think 13 people would show up. I said, well, probably everyone's tired from Lantern's show. But I appreciate my loving and loyal fans staying and watching the show. All right. I got to take off. But yeah, Tinder Immortal, I'm so glad you're making content again. Because you hadn't made a video in 4 years, and I watched a recent one. And it was a whole bunch of TV commercials. And because you like all that old television stuff. And I was like, nice. I'm glad she's fixed her channel. Because I know you said you had a lot of problems with your YouTube channel. And some shit. I don't know what the hell it was. And you're like, oh, I finally got it back, Fears. I was like, oh, well, that's good. I said, I'm glad you fixed whatever you need to fix. And I'm glad you're making content again. So, hell yeah. So, yeah. Museum says, never with me. What are you on about, Museum? You are always a loving and loyal fan, Museum. Lantern, last time for the crown check. Here we go. In 10th place, Tinder Immortal. 9th place is Zach. 8th place is N4's second channel. 7th is Mr. Lantern. Come on, Lantern. 7th is Dyslex. 5th is Museum. 4th is Mama Bear. 3rd is Bukaki. And 1st place coming in hot, as always, is Lord Visions. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for all the loving and loyal support. And again, I want to thank my fans. No matter what those asshole trolls put me through, I can always rely on my loving and loyal fans. I love you guys. I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the views. I really wish there wasn't as much drama. I wish there was zero drama, because I don't care what the hell those idiots say. I do not like drama. Zero drama at all. And again, Twin, shame on Twin. Normally I love when Twin says all the stuff. I did not say the N-word. I would never disrespect black people like that. I hate that he did that. But what are you going to do? You know, I can only be in control of my actions. I'm not in control of his actions, but I didn't appreciate him doing that. So it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully that'll die down. I hope. But thank you all for all the loving and loyal support. And again, I can't thank my fans enough. Whenever you guys do donate, I appreciate it every single time, so thank you. Whenever you guys do fan mail, I appreciate it every single time. So yeah, and that'll be a good place to close. If you want to send Fears fan mail, send it right here. Fears Vlogs, Fearsman26, John Fears, 16745 Kagan's Crossings Boulevard, STE 102B, PMB40, Claremont, Florida, 34714. Oh yeah! So I'm taking off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Randall, that magic man, Randall. Cameo Man 2021, that's the first channel. And follow Randall's second channel, The Mayor of Magic. Follow Museum. Follow Fangirl Kate. Follow that sweet lady, that wonderful sweet lady, Tina, Mama Bear 06. We gotta get her to 100 subs. Tina, don't be shy. Do those lives. Everyone cannot wait for those lives. Follow my buddy, my pal, Strong Bear 19. We gotta get him to 1,000 subs. Dave is without a doubt. He's the hot sauce master. Follow Zach, the incredible impression, on YouTube, because he makes some kick-ass vlogs and he gets them out faster than I do. And he is a great editor. Zach is a fantastic editor. I mean, I'm better. I'm a better editor. You know, I taught Zach everything he needs to know. So, you know, without me, you know, Zach's kind of, you know, I'm just joking, Zach. Zach has his own editing style. I have my editing style. But Zach is a good editor. So, yeah. And a good content creator. And Zach, even though we've squabbled, you are a good friend. And I care about you. And I can't wait to squash all this 5th grader drama bullshit on Saturday and get back to the good times, my friend. So, yeah. Subscribe to She's Back on the Attack, Jack. Follow Mrs. Immortal, the VHS tape Queen Goddess. Oh, yeah. She's back with a thunder. That's right. Follow Exhumed Visions. Exhumed Visions. Exhumed Visions on YouTube. Exhumed Visions on YouTube. Visions, you got to make a Castlevania 2 shirt, please. You got to do a Return of the Living Dead Part 2 shirt. Just food for thought. You got to make a Toxic Avenger shirt, man. I can't believe you haven't made one yet. If you do, I will definitely buy it. I'm going to wear my Leprechaun in the Hood shirt either on St. Patrick's Day or before. But I got to wear it at least once. I mean, I wear it a couple times a year, but I got to wear it at least in the St. Patrick's Day season. I've been wearing all my green shirts. I'm running out of them. I have like 2 green shirts left, so I'm going to wear a green shirt tomorrow and then one on Saturday. And then I'm going to have to do some serious laundry and wash all my green shirts because I'm running out. As soon as I run out of these, then I'll wear the Leprechaun in the Hood shirt. So follow him at exhumevisions.com. Buy some cool shit. Why? Because he's been making shirts and pins and mugs and delicious jams and jellies for quite a long time. And he actually makes some pretty cool shit. Hell yeah. I got your back, buddy. Follow Boo Khaki. He's pretty cool. And Chicken Wizard, get your ass back in the community. Follow Chicken Wizard. And last, but certainly not least, follow the host, with the most, your buddy, your pal, Fearsman26, that main channel. Now that we've hit 3,000, we gotta get Fears to 4,000, or at least 3,500. You know, we gotta do these small goals. So that's the main channel. Subscribe, like, comment, and follow my second channel, the channel that you're watching right now, at Fears Vlogs. Anyway, Fears is gonna skedaddle. Fears loves you guys. Fears cares about you guys, and this is Fears signing off. Peace, deuces, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, Lantern.